Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager. It's episode number 11. Continue on with the season here. Next up will be Milan, or the Italian race, and before we get into that, we've got just a couple days left until that race comes up. It looks like we are headed to a wet qualifying and race itself, though practice should be dry. What we're going to do right now is we have a couple of headquarters things that are just about down. We're 16 hours away from a new scouting facility, and then a couple weeks away from some other things still. Also, we have a vote coming up. And that's what we're going to get into right now. So what we're looking at is refueling coming back to F1. And ironically, in real life, this has been a major topic of late. It's been one of those kind of rash decision things. Romain Grosjean just made a comment about this recently. And that's part of what has been fueling this topic of conversation. A lot of F1 purists, those who are fans of old, have tried to make note of how exciting and how many overtakes refueling added or had within the sport. And then when that went away, so did everything else. I think it's kind of a mixed bag. For a team like myself, it would actually be a pretty good thing. In terms of the opportunities it would present, because anything to shake up the field is going to be good for me. Anything to cause extra pit stops out there is something I could exploit, take advantage of, and make good use of long term. But ultimately, it's a mixed bag because I'm not really a fan of it. I don't think it's necessary, and I honestly don't think it's going to change things much. So I'm going to go ahead and abstain from this one, take the free vote for later, and see how this goes. So Total Wolf against it, Bonato, Horner, Adipole, Otmar's against it. It looks like it's definitely going against France Toast for it. Vassar for it. Claire Williams is for it. Ooh, we got a chance here. It's level. Oh, John Booth. And then I abstained. If I had gone for it, we would have had a tie. It would have gone to the head of the FIA, but it does not. Oh, wow. That would have been 45% of race distance, meaning you would have actually needed to refuel twice in the race. Had I known that it was 45%, I might have actually voted in favor. But that's it for now. Construction now complete, and wow, look at that. Just open things wide up. 52 new drivers added to the available scouting pool, but also it did free up another slot. So let's go ahead and jump into that now. I think a lot of these drivers... Oh yeah, a lot of these drivers we did not scout. This just appeared. So we need to take a look at some of these, and we're going to be looking for high marketability, and I suppose I could try this for now. No, that's just within the same team. It's going to take a little bit to get back, so no, don't want to go that way. Verline, good driver. There's some rumor that Verline's going to come back to replace, Mark Webber. No, sorry, high marketability, but he's in his 40s already. Evans. Rosenquist. Fuel hungry. I don't care for that. Or that. Okay, not quite. So the obvious thing is I'm looking for any way to get better. easy on fuel, and 75%. Feedback's really low, but a good driver otherwise. Good star signs. What is he making right now? $750,000. It would cost $6 million to get him away from McLaren. Hates leading. Well, that's not going to be a problem anytime soon. But there is a plus 12 bonus. Looking to get kind of just about maximum marketability somewhere, somehow. Lando Norris, low marketability. Sam Bird. Nope. He's at 74%. I'm actually going to go ahead and unstar him. No chance. Nope. Van Dorn, only 61%. All right. Well, I'll look into that more later. We're already getting into the neighborhood of there's not a big improvement from where we're at. Where both drivers are 3 stars right now and have good marketability. So we would need somebody with extremely good marketability and definitely better if we're going to see any sort of change. But with the improved scouting facility, look at that. We now have most of the field scouted. That is a drastic change from where we were. Oh, Rossi's got some talent. Let's go ahead and scout Rossi. There you go. All right, well, 1 day till the race, so let's go ahead and push forward so we can get into that. I wish I had voted for it now. I noticed 45% instead of the standard, which is more like 60%, meaning 1 stop's enough to get you to the end. It's a very different animal than a 45% forcing you to pit at least twice. Okay, so we have a new front wing for the car, and for the first time, I'm accepting the fact that there could be risk. I mean, what kind of relegation are we going to get when we're already the last 2 cars on the grid if we are going to be caught? When we can get a front wing that is considerably better. It's not ready to be put on the car yet. But we'll get it on there before long anyway. Super soft, and wow, hard compound. That is a huge jump to the hard compound. I have a feeling we will not use that at all for this race. 48 laps. Ah, come on. I still can't commit to knowing that it's not going to be the hard compound. I still have to have one just in case. We're looking at a clear 1-stopper. We need 24 laps out of the tire, and I think the soft will give us that, but can't be sure. Let's go ahead and see what changes can be made part-wise. Brakes. A new wing. It's tempting. I'm not going to take the risk this week, though, with it at 65%, so we're going to have to wait a week. Here's where we have seen an improvement, but only to here at this point. Again, 2 weeks in a row, we're bringing Krohn's car up and not Deegan's. And the only improvement we did make is What? The gearbox, which is actually now better. Let's go ahead and swap those. It's now better than the other one, so we'll take that. There you go. Obviously, still 23rd. Why bother checking, right? I am long overdue for a little bit of luck in this series. And by luck, I need to get like a top 12 sort of outcome. And the only way that that's going to happen is a bunch of cars DNFing. Last time we were within 1 lap of a single car, Felipe Massa. And Massa did not have any problems or anything like that that contributed to it. We stayed within 1 lap. He was close to lapping us. But that's the closest we have been. But of course we were at Spa, which is definitely one of the longer tracks out there. That's very much a factor. Okay, 48 laps. 48 laps. Super Softs won't quite make it. But 1 set of softs and 1 set of supers will absolutely make it. And the hard compound, a 0 stopper, going the distance. Now I'm tempted to see what kind of time you can get out of the hard compound. And will they truly go the distance? Probably would. Can make it work. That's awfully close, though. And the last race, it was really close. And quite a few cars had a 0 stopper until 4 or 5 laps before the end of the race, and then they all had to stop and went backwards. Some of them stopped maybe 10 laps before the end. So I think we're still looking at soft. Probably look at that huge performance difference between the soft and the hard. Meaning you're going to lose way more than 1 pit stop worth of time by being on the hard compound. So even if you do stretch it to the end. Now, 35, 36-ish laps leaves about 15. Super Softs will definitely make that. So I think that's kind of where we're headed, is soft to super soft. What I would like to see, though, is I'd like to see a lap time on both tires. So I'm going to send Deegan out on super soft for 1 lap, and then we'll switch to the softs, because I'd like to compare lap times. Crone, we'll go ahead and start her immediately on the softs. Need a little bit higher downforce. There you go. Only slightly, though. Why would you need much downforce here? This is the least downforce you're going to need on any track. This is all speed balance, top speed, which, speaking of, why don't we push that a bit, huh? Not that the game matches real life. We'll push that to the edge. Wow, and look at that. See, downforce, we're towards the low end, which is how it should be. Okay, let's try that. And let's go ahead and take practice. Of course, qualifying trim. You know what? I'm going to let her have that 1 lap on qualifying trim. She's going to head straight out. And we'll make the adjustment next time. Crone, we will immediately make the adjustment. I need 1 lap time for Deegan, which means she actually has to run around a little bit. That's a hot lap for Deegan now, so we gotta let her get all the way around. So ultimately we'll have to run 3 laps before we can get anything. So 86%, that's not bad to start. We're already great there. Speed balance, feeling like should keep going, but according to Deegan, it should be closer towards balanced, which is really awkward. I suppose you certainly need some acceleration here. I mean, you want to get up to speed, but it's super long straight after super long straight after super long straight with a few tight chicanes. That's Monza. Okay. Wow, Krone the only one on the soft. Probably very similar to last race. Okay, Deegan is done with her lap. First of one. One of one. Oh, that's right. She was on qualifying one lap, so she's coming in anyway. I forgot to bring in Krone. Hey, look at that. We're sliding down the order a little bit. Just a little bit. No? A lot? Okay. I think you're going to be towards the edge over here, just based on what I'm seeing with your teammate. Race trim, tire choice, 119.748 with 92%. Krone. Okay, we're at 95 now. We need to go the other direction, slightly into the N. And speed balance very close. That was too much. That's better. Not ready to go long term yet. We're stuck with one lap. Deacon's out. Hey, there you go. Just like that. Okay, no lap time yet. We will get that here very soon though. Downside here is we're going to be a lot slower with full fuel. So maybe I go out and do 4. Alright, I need that comparison. What are the lap times like? You've got to stick out for a little bit longer. Krone, we're going to bring in right away. Okay, Deegan on the hot lap now. We'll see how much slower it is. Okay, 97. Guessing it's probably the other direction. Now, I'm not worried about her lap time, so we'll go ahead and make a long run. Just using Deegan for the comparison. Deegan needs to finish this lap. And has. Now we'll bring her back in. All the way to the far end. Okay, triple purple. And we're going to set this up long term. 3/4 of a second for one lap. But with the full fuel load, harder to judge. But we will be on the super softs towards the end of the race. They definitely are faster. I think 15% bonus for the sauce. I think the super sauce will be faster. A little bit, you know. Not by much, but they'll be faster. So it will be worth it to go soft to super soft. But with that, we're going to stay out long enough to get these bonuses taken care of. We're already on our way to level 2 just about. There it is. Level 3 coming, but we're already down to just 10 minutes and counting. It's going to be hard to get anything qualifying-wise, but we do have a start on it, so we'll certainly try if there's enough time to go. Got it at 8.5 minutes. We're still only halfway to level 3. Almost there, almost there. Okay. I'm going to bring Crone back in. Now, Crone is 24th. Ah, shoot. I should have brought Deegan in too. Deegan's got to go around one whole time. Ouch, Crone, what's up with your form? Okay, well, that was better. 98% now. Qualifying. 3 laps. Super soft. Yeah, there you go. Full. That's what a full fuel load looks like. So we're losing a little over half a second, and that's not even full fuel load. That's 12 laps worth. All right, both cars out. Maximum effort. We have 3 minutes. We might actually make it to bonus level 1. 2 minutes. Yep, we're gonna get there. Finally, qualifying trim and super soft bonus. That's big. I think that's the first time all season that I've gotten the race and soft tire bonus, but also gotten the softest compound and qualifying bonus. Up 1 level, anyway. We were halfway to level 2. Just how slow are we? That's slow. Twice the time. And, you know, that's actually pretty consistent. I've noticed the gap from Ferrari to Manor is the same as the gap from Manor to us in terms of the chart for the cars. And even though I've improved the car steadily, we still have a significant gap. Driver would make a difference, but we're talking about a small difference. No matter how good the driver, you're only going to go so fast with a car that is so slow. If you don't believe me, think about Williams this season. George Russell is nearly a second a lap faster than Robert Kubica on race pace. And in qualifying, he's been 2 to 3 tenths faster than him in every race all season long. Feels like we could have gotten out of Q1 had we used the soft tire at the right time. But it doesn't matter. We're so slow, we'll be in last place at the end of the first lap, even if Deegan gets into the top 10 again. Or Crone's done that once before. Vettel was fastest. The Ferrari is definitely fastest in this mod. They've got the best car. Or at least whoever made this mod is very much a Ferrari fan, or very much a Vettel fan, because they have Vettel well clear of Leclerc. They have Hamilton well down, and those two things usually go hand in hand. you like Hamilton or you like Vettel, it's very rare that you treat them as equals. Most people do have some sort of personal bias over that. I am no exception. You probably already know where I stand on that, but I will not say it this time. But again, Vettel fastest. Will he keep that for the third qualifying session and take the pole again? Home race for the team, not for the driver. But Vettel is on provisional by half a second. Looks like he's going to cruise to victory. He is slower this time. Bottas improves his time. Hamilton improves his time, but neither of them can get close enough. So it's going to be Vettel on pole over Bottas, Hamilton, and Leclerc. Very consistent thing on this mod. Verstappen and then Gasly. It's Ricardo. That's so consistent. Perez, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Kimi Räikkönen, and Lando Norris. This mod is certainly consistent in car driver performance. Rain. I forgot about that. Talking about tires, it might not even matter. Okay, we're starting with a damp track that's going to become a very, very wet track within about 2 to 3 laps. And it's going to rain heavily. So, autopic. Engine expert. No longer impact condition. Intermediate tires wear more slowly. Okay. We are both on the wets, and I think that is the right tire to start this race on. I could go for the soft tire. I mean, the engine mode one doesn't matter so much. And we're on wets, not on intermediates. Maybe I should. Take the soft tire if it stops raining. Which it might not. But if it stops raining, it's come in very handy. It's only level 1. And we're not using intermediates. We're using full wets anyway, at least for now. If it dries out, that'll help us out. Alright, so here we are in Monza. Vettel on pole. Of course, everybody's unlocked because they qualified in the dry. So they've all got fresh tires. And the whole field is on the wets. So here we are in Italy. Ferrari's home, Grand Prix, and let's go racing. Both cars decently off the line. Deegan a little bit better. It closes in tight on the matter. It is very difficult to see with all the spray. 3 wide just ahead of us. Now 2 wide. That is the Williams struggling of Robert Kubica down in 22nd. It's rare to see them, at least in this mod, in their native territory, at least as to how they are in real life this season. Deegan makes a move, gets ahead. It's nice to get a place after the start of the race, not just off the line. But they swap back as Sean-Eric Verne makes the easy move to get ahead. And we're just going to go ×4 here because, well, you're that far off the pace, you're that far off the pace. So, Valtteri Bottas into the lead at the end of lap number 1. Pole sitter Sebastian Vettel in a heap of trouble here as Charles Leclerc goes by, Lewis Hamilton goes by, and Max Verstappen making a move, has a look to the inside on the chicane, but Vettel blocks him off for now and retains 4th position. Verstappen looking left, looking right, looking left again, looking right. It is constant, the pressure from Verstappen, and he's got the move completed, and now it's Gasly having a look at the pole sitter. Vettel really struggling early on in this race, and he is down to P6. Track already soaked. It only took a couple laps, and with everybody on the wets, it really did not matter. Now, back to Deegan for a second. Well, she's ahead of Krone, but where's everybody else? Yeah, they're pulling away. They're pulling away, but they're not too far away. No, I suppose they kind of are 5 seconds through 4 laps. No, that's through 3 laps. 3 laps complete, and we are almost 6 seconds behind. So it's going the wrong way and fast. Why, you might ask? Well, it's Monza. I mean, come on. It's all engine, gearbox, and that we are so far behind in that department. So our race is essentially done already. We will try to keep an eye on things, but otherwise we'll watch the real race. Bottas has the second half over Leclerc. Hamilton 1 second behind him and trying to close Leclerc down. It is Verstappen in 4. It is Gasly in 5 and Vettel hanging on to 6. Look who is just behind and staying close. That is Daniel Ricciardo. Bit of a gap from him down to Lando Norris, who has moved up a couple spots from where he started. Raikkonen in P9, Hülkenberg in 10. There's Perez in 11, Sainz, and then Stroll. And they are battling it out right now. Stroll trying to make a move to get around Sainz, and he does. That is also Sainz who has dropped down the order a little bit, isn't it? From where he started. Alonso, P14 for Alpine. Kvyat behind him, Gio. Massa, Albon, Kubica, and Russell moving back up. Van Dorn in 21st, ahead of teammate Jean-Eric Vergne. This is one of those opportunities for us to make a move and get ahead of Manor. No, not really. We're already 17 seconds behind. So good luck if I'm going to try to do anything there. You can actually see that the field is still bunched first to 22nd. And then 2 cars adrift. It looks like we pit already. No, we're just off the base. Okay. Dig in, we need to back off a little bit here. Get these tires back into working range. Krone doing really well with the tire heating. It's allowing her to continue to push. And that should be out of the hot zone. Yes. Okay, we'll try neutral and see how that does. Fuel burn, not so good, but you can see we're going to get lapped here quite soon in this one. Leclerc drifted about a second further back. Hamilton has drifted again a little bit further from there. Vettel has re-overtaken Pierre Gasly for 5th. Settled down after that poor start. Ricardo's staying close though, just 2-3 seconds behind. And starting to open that little bit of a gap behind, 4 seconds back to Norris. Tight battle here for the final points paying position as Perez trying to have a look at Hülkenberg. The tire heating is good on neutral here in the rain. We are 1 lap behind, but we're going to get that lap back pretty soon once we get lapped. Not something I want to have happen. I would love to see a safety car, and then we can turn it down that way. Rain is going to stop, and it looks like the track will dry out fairly quickly, so we will not want to go to intermediates. We're going to go straight to the dry tire from the looks of things. Dang, we are so slow in this race compared to others. And that is all down to that engine, really. As Bottas gets around Krone, heading down the straight. Look how fast Bottas closed us down there on the straight. And you get that 4 times here. 3 times, really, but 4 times. You're just in a long straight stretch where you're completely or almost completely flat out. And then you just get those tight chicanes, zip through, and there you go again. Straight, straight, straight. So Bottas has left both my cars in the dust, and we have quickly recovered the fuel loss, but we're still a little bit in the red in that department, so we're going to need to back off a little bit. Leclerc closing back in on Bottas now. Picked up 1.3. Who did I just click on? Apparently I clicked on Ricardo. Leclerc is pushing a bit, but less than 1 second behind now. Gap now holding at about a second. Leclerc, of course, was pushing engine mode wise to get closer. Has gone back to level now, pushing again only for a moment. So they're just momentary pushes, accelerating out of the corner. Otherwise, Leclerc driving normally. But Bottas pulling back away just a little bit. Hamilton's gap holding steady. Vettel's gap holding steady. Verstappen just Vettel back ahead of Verstappen. Vettel ahead of Verstappen, so they have swapped places. Gasly falling further adrift all the time. Ricardo almost keeping pace with Gasly, but not quite. He's losing him just a little bit, but he's now 8 seconds ahead of Lando Norris. Perez in P9, Hulkenberg P10. Tight battle here. Sainz a little bit further behind in P11. Sainz just lapped Deegan. Cars are already starting to pit. It is still wet though, so I do not want to pit yet, but I should probably bring somebody in this lap. So I think we're getting pretty close to that changeover. So Deegan, you're a little bit better off, and we're going to go ahead and push. We're going to go on high, and let's go ahead and ride with Deegan. We're going to come in this next lap, as she just went by pit straight there. And we're looking at how many laps to go. 28. Softs can make it to the end if it stays dry the rest of the way. This is a one-stopper. Oh wow, the entire field has already pit, even though it's still wet. Carlos Sainz retiring with a mechanical issue. He is out of the race. Okay, the track just went damp, so you could see how much slower we are instantly, just like that, as it transitioned, as we were on the full wets and should have switched to the intermediates. That's a good stop. Chrome's going to pit this lap, and same thing, we're going to go the distance here. So we'll ride with Crone, who is currently in 23rd. Sainz down the order, falling back, and so that'll move us up one spot in this race. We'll go times 12 here for a moment and slow it down. We get back here towards the straight, just that little bit anyway. Crone into the pits. No mistakes today on the pit stops. That's good. That's an improvement from where we were. And Crone comes out 22 seconds behind Deegan. So that extra lap was not good on the wets. If we were on intermediates, we would have been fine, but track dried out really quick. So we definitely went one lap too long. I should have gotten Deegan in on the lap before Crone in on the lap that Deegan came in on. Not that it matters, as we're getting lapped by Stoffel Van Dorn. We are just really off the pace. It's a shorter track for one thing, so it's a lot easier to get lapped. There goes the new race leader, Charles Leclerc, who's just got around Valtteri Bottas moments ago. Bottas trying to get back at him right now, staying tight for now. No sign of rain coming unless it comes in the final laps. Look how far Van Dorn had already gotten away from us. Leclerc out to half a second over Bottas. Vettel just got around Hamilton as well for P3. So the Ferrari here on the dry tire really starting to show its stuff. Verstappen will have to stop again. Alonso will have to stop again. Kubica and Van Dorn will all have to stop again. Otherwise, everybody else is going to be good to go till the end of this race. It's already lap 28 of 48. Haley Deegan just set a personal best, 122.6. Pro, 122.7. Getting faster and faster. Part of that is that fuel load getting lighter now. And the track almost completely dry. It's still ever so slightly damp. Bottas not giving up on this potential race win, as he is within 0.3 of a second of Leclerc. But here comes Sebastian Vettel. Vettel closing right up on Bottas. He's starting to have a look to the inside there. Let's go ahead and change the perspective to the middle ground here. We'll watch Bottas as there goes Vettel having a look outside, inside. Oh, blocked off by the Williams. Bottas. It is George Russell who just got caught into no man's land. He had nowhere to go, but he ends up blocking off Bottas and letting Vettel through, and Bottas drops a position to P3. And whoa, what just happened? Team orders. Lewis Hamilton has gone through. Bottas off the pace here. He was dropping back, and so they allow Lewis Hamilton to take position number 3. And we have 1.5 seconds separating the first 4 cars. Meanwhile, no crashes at all, no spins at all, no penalties at all in this race, as both Mercedes fly past Krone there on the straight. It's not quite like standing still, but it's very much like a motorcycle passing a bicyclist. And Hamilton makes a move and gets around Leclerc, who's in P3, but gets caught up a little bit with Kubica there. And in dodging Kubica, Leclerc gets back around, makes a double pass on the lapped car as well as Hamilton. And finally, there's a yellow in Sector 2. No sign of anything there, though. So somebody might have spun out, but they recovered, and on they go. Now on to lap 36 of 48. Where's the lead? Oh, I'm about to get lapped again. Actually, just got unlapped. Another yellow flag, Sector 2 there. Quickly recovered. Both cars getting faster and faster. And again, a yellow flag. So multiple issues starting to arise. I don't know if it's those on the Super Softs that are having some issues. Lando Norris just spun, Sector 2. And Kubica has pit, comes out in P19. Now 3 spots down from his teammate, so he gained a few spots with the Super Softs, but with the extra pit, he lost what he gained. Meanwhile, I am 117 seconds behind Jean-Eric Vergne. Pushing as we've now picked up a lap here. So 120 seconds over 40 laps. 3 seconds a lap slower. And we are picking up that 30-second bonus right now, by the way. Verstappen has just passed Bottas, but Verstappen is on Super Softs and will have to pit again. He's pitting right now. He's going to come back out in P5. P6. Gasly just gets by. I'm surprised it took that long in the pits, but he is on fresh Super Soft tires. Gasly probably not standing a chance. That's the Toro Rosso. That's not his teammate. There's Deegan. Deegan quickly out of the way. Verstappen is still a little bit behind. Vettel just spun. Vettel spun and lost the race lead. Vettel just spun. He has lost the race lead. He has dropped down to P2. It is now Charles Leclerc leading this race with just a handful of laps and still recovering. Vettel drops to P3 as Hamilton has stayed close this entire time and capitalizes. And Hamilton actually having a look, trying to get ahead, and he goes by. Ooh, Vettel's got a problem. Vettel just flat spotted. Leclerc is dropping back. Leclerc drops back to P4. I think Vettel just hit his teammate while we were watching. So Hamilton went by. Vettel hits his teammate. He does not receive a penalty, but the extra pit stop for the puncture is enough. He comes out just behind Ricciardo, but instantly gets around him. So Ricciardo does not hold him up, and off Vettel goes from P6. Verstappen, P5, has now caught up to his teammate, Pierre Gasly, in P4, and he makes the move. In fact, it looked like, briefly, they were showing team orders on that one. So team orders, Gasly just gets out of the way, and actually Vettel also has already made his way around Gasly. That's how fast these two are going. Vettel goes purple this time, fastest lap of the race so far. But Alonso just passed him and then got right back around him. Alright, so Hamilton leads the race, now 6 seconds clear of his teammate. Leclerc was hit in that exchange with Vettel when Vettel got the puncture. Leclerc dropped behind Bottas after that. Hamilton passed him clean, and then Vettel was trying to come through, and Vettel collided with Leclerc. Leclerc dropped a spot, but Vettel had the puncture and had to pit, so Verstappen well behind. Vettel, bit further behind. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. Gasly quickly dropping back from them. Ricciardo not far behind Gasly. He is only 2.5 seconds behind, so he's still got a chance there. Hulkenberg way back in the next Renault. Perez, and then Stroll way down the order. There's Raikkonen. This is race done, by the way, and we are going to finish 130 seconds. 130 seconds behind. It's a little better than it was. I lost 10 seconds in the final 8 laps. Of course, Sean Vernon had a second pit stop. I think that was the main reason for that. But not a good race. Not a good race for us at all. I understand why. That's the thing with Monza, is it's a pure pace kind of track. If you don't have pace, you're not going to do well. Right now, I could definitely see us doing better. Not necessarily at Monaco, because that's crazy high downforce, and that's also something we're lacking in. But a lot of the tracks, maybe like Singapore, where it's still high downforce, but not like Monaco high. I could see us doing better at those tracks. Maybe Sochi would be a better track for us. But Monza, I think that's engine power to a T. So for Ferrari to only be 3 and 5, that's really bad, and most of that's on Vettel. Leclerc struggled with those tires at the end. Hamilton passed him clean. Bottas no, because of Vettel, but Vettel was about to pass him, just didn't do it clean. So Leclerc, tire wear, struggling. I think he's undervalued on this game, on this mod for sure. But of course, you would see all those real life results to see just how good Leclerc is, but also how not so good Vettel is these days. He did take a penalty, 10-second penalty. He actually ends up finishing, instead of just behind Leclerc, he finishes almost as far back as Gasly. There's also a car missing. There is a car missing here. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't figured out who it is yet, there is a car missing from the standings. And there's 2 of them. Van Dorn, broken rules, busted. Max Verstappen, That was the one I was alluding to. Broken rules from high in the points to out of the race. Unfortunately, only one DNF, and it was just a retirement. This time we were one lap down to that next car on the grid, which really sucks. Really sucks that we were that far behind, but 2.5 seconds a lap. Again, I think more of that is down to it being Monza than anything else. In the standings, though, Deegan moves ahead of Krohn. Verne, Massa, those are still our best chances. Van Dorn, I'm surprised he's that high, but he's had to have one result somewhere. But yeah, our odds of beating that are getting really bad. It's only 6 races left to go in the season. And the gap at some tracks, it's getting better. But we would need to be well inside 1 second a lap right now for me to think that we're going to make up enough ground to actually compete with the back markers in the final couple of races. It's 6 races to go. So at this point, the best thing I can hope for is that crazy result with a bunch of DNFs, or there isn't a relegation. Otherwise, we're screwed. I think I'm absolutely facing that reality right now. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.